Today we're going to be doing one of the simplest tasks ever on a BWS, which is to change the gearbox oil. So that's the gearbox drain plug, a little 12, so we'll drain that shortly. And another little top tip is to have the gearbox fairly warm when you change it. So I've just taken this for a ride. It's nice and warm, so it obviously changes the viscosity of the really thick standard gearbox oil, and it'll drain out much better. So I'll pull the drain plug out, let it run out for the next hour or so, and then put it back in and refill it. Alright, just pulled the drain plug. It's nice and clear. Just a very big caution for anyone who's keen on getting a BWS or maintaining your own BWS is that the gearbox itself doesn't have a filter in it, and the bearings in these things don't last forever. I commute in my BWS, I do 13 Ks to work every day and 13 Ks back, and I change my gearbox oil probably 3 or 4 times a year, and every single time, it doesn't matter how many times you change it, there'll always be some metal particulate in the oil itself. This BWS has done very few kilometers, and the oil is nice and clear, and I don't see any particulate in this whatsoever. Although oddly the oil is very dark. Should be a nice kind of golden hue. Nonetheless, I've got the correct stuff, which I'll show you shortly, and we'll drop that in a little while. Alright, that's the oil we're going to be using as per the factory. Nice heavy weight, and it really is thick. It barely moves in this bottle. And the reason this oil is so thick is between the input and output shafts there's a little idler gear there of sorts, and it pretty much revs twice of what the engine is revving. So if you're revving 9 grand here in your BWS, that little shaft is revving at 18,000, and unfortunately oil just cannot hang on to that, and that gear takes incredible strain. So that's why they have really thick oil for it to adhere to that little gear. Alright, there is the drain plug. I've taken some carb cleaner and just given it a good blast. Make sure there's no foreign material on that mating surface of the little copper washer, which of course I'm going to reuse. Okay, oil is drained. I've given that mating surface a bit of a clean as well with some carb cleaner, and now I'm going to stick the drain bolt back in, and soon it'll have some fresh oil. And torque spec on that little drain plug is 18 newtons. Alright, I'm just about ready to put the oil in. I use one of these big syringes to get the oil in. It's 110 cc's. That's the volume. Off you go. Alright, there we go. Job's a good one. Some plugs in, oil's in, caps in and tight. Biggest issue with this is just the time to wait for the oil to drain.